Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Stranger Kings. I am Don, one half of the King Brothers.
I am Kevin, the other half of the King Brothers.
And we are here today talking to you guys today about our basic intro, our launch party, our podcast, if you will, because we are Stranger Kings, and we're going to talk about it. So, just to get into it, why podcast? Why talk about it? Why put our voices into digital format for you guys to listen to? Well, because we feel we have a very unique and interesting perspective on life. Our journeys through life have been tumultuous. Is that?
I don't know. I feel like I could use that in a sentence.
Right.
I don't know if that'd be 100% accurate in its meaning. It
Okay.
sounds right.
It sounds right. It
feels right.
That's the level we're talking about
Yeah,
here.
it feels right.
Yeah, it feels right. And just going into quick my background and my brother's background. Actually, why don't you go ahead and tell them?
Okay, so again, my name's Kevin. We are brothers.
Yes.
Yep, we're about 3.5 years apart. We grew up as Jehovah's Witnesses. We are both no longer Jehovah's Witnesses.
Amen, brother.
Yep. Testify. We both left at different times and in different ways and
Yes.
for different reasons. Some of the same reasons, but most of the same reason being that we just weren't happy.
Yeah.
We were estranged for a little bit.
For sure.
And now we are in our living room where we live. And, we reconnected. And so we thought it would be good to just share how our experiences, have led to us now.
Exactly. 100%. And like my brother was saying, it's about that unique perspective, right? It's about that lens of life that we all look through, the reality that we're trying to be happy, find happiness, get happy. Because that's the ultimate goal, right? Is to live life to the best of its abilities. Live your best life, if you will.
No. I'm living my best life. That's what people say after they've had a breakup.
Yes. Okay.
And they're lying.
They're 100% lying. But yeah, I mean, it's the journey, right? It's about my brother loves to say this, and I do love this about him, the nuggets of life, those little nuggets, because I have a hard time with that, finding those things, those gemstones in life, because I'm very jaded and bitter and...
We'll get into that.
We'll go there. We'll go there.
Reel it back.
Right. Reel it back.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So, happy birthday.
Thank you, brother.
By the way.
Thank you.
For those of you who don't know, it's my brother's birthday today.
I am... How old am I?
I don't know if that matters.
You know what? You're right. You know what? You are right.
Matters.
That doesn't really matter. That does not matter at all. Happy birthday to me. Excellent.
Yeah.
But it's that bittersweet thing, right? Because you had actually talked about it before I even realized I had a birthday coming up.
Yeah.
Like that goes into the background a little bit. Birthdays weren't really a thing for us.
No. And so a little bit about that. So for most people know, if you know anything about Jehovah's Witnesses, right. You know that they don't celebrate birthdays or holidays. That's like the one thing you know about witnesses.
They have no fun.
Yeah, right. And it's a little more complicated when you are a witness,
right? Because
not only do you not celebrate, it's like you can't even touch it.
Right, it's like a bad thing.
It's like it's like a really bad thing.
It's like a bad thing to have a birthday.
So you're like a 5-year-old
right
in kindergarten, and your parents have you moved out of your classroom whenever there's a birthday party, and so you're just sitting in the principal's office by yourself.
Yep.
Feeling like a freaking outcast.
Because you are.
And not really knowing what you did wrong.
Right.
Or what's wrong about eating a cupcake. Or,
right.
Or whatever.
Because today, and for you.
But you just feel like you did something wrong. And so that happens several times.
Right. Several times.
And so you develop this weird little thing about birthdays.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of part of what we're going to talk about, I think, on this first episode, and probably a lot of episodes. Is that our strange, experience as Jehovah's Witnesses has given us a unique kind of perspective on life and on things, and it's given us a unique way of experiencing the world, and that's kind of what we want to talk about.
Exactly.
It's just how we experience the world, and yeah.
Exactly. And I think that's what the whole podcast is really going to like platform for, is that strange experience, because exactly what he's talking about, it's the lens of life where you have this whole set of rules your entire life, and that's your lens, man. You can't see anything other than the reality of being a J-Dub. And I still have a hard time saying Jehovah's Witness, because
it's heavy.
It's heavy, bro. And if you guys don't get it, like, and I don't mean to, not trigger alert these people, but there was going to be a lot of trigger alerts. Oh my goodness, there's a whole entire language that you have to compensate for, because of the experience, man. So, and that's the platform, right? That's where I want to be able to just say, you know what, we came out of it, we ran through it, we still got scars, like we're never going to be the same people we were, but we've developed into, I don't want to say happier, because that's not the word. It's
I mean, that's not wrong, though.
It's not wrong.
It doesn't mean that we're just bursting with joy, all the time.
But I can 100 billion% tell you, I have a better life than I ever would have had.
Oh, absolutely.
If I were still in.
100%.
Which, I have.
You're you.
I'm me.
You get to be you.
Yes.
And I get to be me. And that's something we never had.
Right.
As witnesses.
Right. And going into the whole birthday thing again, the fact that I took a picture. You guys might be able to see it when I post it somewhere someday. But I took a picture, and it was a selfie, which, again, if you are vain in the J-Dub community, you are going to go to hell and, not just receive everlasting life for being vain. But I like to look good. I like to smell good. I like to, that makes me feel better about who I am. And I took this selfie, and it was, because I had the fresh new do, like I actually have my actual haircut.
Yep.
And the lighting was right. I lined up my goatees and stuff. And I was like, damn, I look good. Like, it was that moment of, okay, I can appreciate my appearance, and I look the way I want to look. That was the biggest, like, hard-hitting, like, oh, crap.
You get to have facial hair and a haircut,
I almost cried just looking at this picture, because it was the realization of, like, holy shit, man, it's my birthday, and on this birthday, I actually feel good about being, like, I have pieces of who I am, and I can celebrate those pieces.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
that's legit, man.
That's what I mean. Okay, so fuck 2020 and 2021.
Yep. Agreed.
COVID can.
Okay. Yep.
I will never get these tears of my life back, and
none of us will.
And my therapist isn't ready. Okay, like, it's just. But at the same time, like, living the experience and I never thought I'd have this. I never thought there would be a moment in life where I could look at a picture and look at myself, because again, I'm looking at myself.
Yeah.
Oh man, I like the way I look. Yeah, I feel good about the way I look. I feel good about me and those pieces that I've built. That's crazy. I never thought there would have been a moment like that. And again, like, even just the last year, that's the cool part about it. We've come to this journey, to this point where we can, hey man, I got my baggage, you got your baggage. All right, let's do this. Like, we're going to go through this war together.
I think that's something that anybody who struggles with just any mental health, but particularly depression, like, understands that deep, deep, dark place where there's no light. There's just no light. There's no happiness. It doesn't exist. It's just a word. Doesn't mean anything. And there's no feeling good, and so you don't try because you don't think it's real. Right. Just that deep, sad, dark spot. And so to be able to come out of that with, hey, I look good, and like, I feel good, and like we were talking about, this is a nugget, right? This is something really small. It's this little gem, but it's huge for me. It's so valuable because I didn't think this even existed. I didn't think it was possible to feel this.
Right.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's freaking huge.
And I can't wait, man. I think this podcast is going to be a lot of fun. We'll iron out more of the details because, I will learn more about the audio engineering part, and we'll get mics because, again, ladies and gentlemen, I have all the equipment in the world. I just have no idea how to use it.
Yeah, so, my brother will learn.
Yes,
he'll get better. So I'm sorry for him, but I'll get on him after this.
Yeah, I heard that. But yeah, so it's. I mean, I think that's going to be the best part of this, right?
Yeah,
is to just do it because I think. Like for
it's
part
for
of
me and you, man.
The channel, yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's about the brotherhood. It's about the Stranger Kings. We'll get more in depth as to what the strange parts are and the stranger parts that This is going to be a serious but a humorous way of looking at the world because I think that that's a lot of people. Yeah, that's us. Yeah, that's a lot of people, and I think a lot of people can relate to that. May not know they relate to it because again, coming from the background we do, religion is religion. It doesn't matter. It could be Jehovah's Witnesses. It could be Buddhists, Mormons, whatever it is. It wouldn't matter. Like if you're having those thoughts, these feelings, those things about life,
right? And you're trapped.
Yeah, it's you don't have to be trapped. It's not you're not trapped.
No.
You have people, a plethora of people around you where, reality may not be what you really think it is. You only know what you know. Mm-hmm. You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And, those, as cliche as those things are, that's life and that's reality. And I'm really glad that we're doing this. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah. We have discovered that there is so much life out there, just in the world.
In the world.
There's so much life.
There is.
So I'm excited about this.
Yeah, me too, man.
All right, so here's what I'd like to do.
Okay.
So I'd like to explain and just kind of chat about, some examples of situations or circumstances that we experience a little differently because of, our lives. I'd like to end with birthdays since it's your birthday.
Yep.
So here's the first one. He has not seen this list.
I have not seen this list. I've been told I won't like this list.
Any triggers are authentic and real.
Okay.
So here we go. So first situation, pretty normal thing, like cheersing glasses.
Okay. So like
clink, cheers. Everybody goes, yay.
Yay.
Cheers.
Yeah.
That shit does not happen for witnesses.
It sure doesn't, bro.
That's an absolute no-no.
That's a real big no-no.
You are like terrible.
Yes, that is a mortal sin.
That's like a huge, ridiculous sin, right?
Oh my God.
And people, I'm sure there's some kind of backstory to like why people do that.
Oh yeah.
But none of that matters to why people do it now.
Nope.
It's just, a celebration and excitement of cheers. Like you're just excited to be around each other. However, even to this day, every time I cheers somebody, not every time, I'm actually getting better, but like often when I cheers somebody, I get this weird little trigger. This little like flitter of ooh, like I don't like that.
It's like a little pinch.
Yeah.
Like
yep, that's still there. Not every time, but most times.
Yep, most times.
Does that happen for you?
Yes, it does. And so because it's happened to me multiple times, I've actually done research into why it happens.
Okay.
And cheers it's like, amen. I'm in celebration of what you're celebrating. I am agreeing with you. And that's why there's a big cultural thing too. If you cheers and you don't drink the drink, it's like an insult to what you're doing.
Yeah.
So like, oh, cheers. I disagree. Cheers. I agree.
Right.
Like it's that's part of it.
It's like this unifying thing.
And so how J-Dubs love their amen,
don't say that. We don't say that here.
We don't say that here. Right. So there are words that will be triggered and there will be authentic moments on this podcast.
We're going to do a whole episode on words.
Right. There's a whole episode on words by themselves. And it's going to be hard and it's going to be heavy, but we're going to do it because it matters.
Yeah. But that's not today. So that's just like, an example of an everyday thing that most people
don't even pay attention to.
They wouldn't even think twice about it.
Right.
But almost every single time you and I do it, we get a little.
I feel it.
Like I feel it. It's this weird thing, and it gets in the way of sometimes of just anything. Yeah. Okay. So the next one, this is pretty obvious. Holidays, right? We can pick on a few holidays, but so Christmas, right? It's a big one for most people. Yep. I don't have anything for like I don't have any framework for Christmas.
Oh no,
right?
100%.
Like, I'm developing now that like, oh, these are the things that I do each Christmas.
Yes.
I only have like 3 or 4 under my belt.
Yes. Okay. So that's I'm glad you brought that up. So for context, right? Because we did go through the JW world together. However, I am a decade plus out.
Yeah, he pulled the cord.
Right, I pulled the cord pretty harsh, pretty little bit of that.
a little earlier than I did.
Right. Yeah. But I'm 10 years out, 10 plus years, and you're
4.5 years out. Yeah.
So I have, again, that plays into our journey and our little experience. However, that being said, Christmas, I still have no frame of reference, and I'm 10 plus years out. Yeah. I still don't know. Like,
people get so excited about Christmas, dude.
Why? It's expensive.
It is expensive.
It's expensive,
they're
bro.
Just so freaking.
But they love it.
They
bro.
love
they
it.
Love it.
People love Christmas. I don't
love
get
it.
I don't get it.
Like,
I try to get on board and like be happy with people, but I just am faking it, dude.
I see that bill, bro. I see how much that stuff costs. And then, okay, so the Christmas lights, bro. Electricity ain't cheap. Like. You think I'm gonna put all these little itty bitty light bulbs all over the house? I mean, it's fun.
I've gotten into the lights,
right? It's fun,
yeah.
But I'm like, damn, bro. Like, I know that's gonna be expensive. I know that's gonna be a bill. Like, man. That's a risk analysis right here. Like,
I still haven't figured it out because, like, sometimes, like at work, we'll do like a white elephant or like some kind of like gift exchange, and then sometimes we won't, and then sometimes people do like really thoughtful gifts. And then sometimes it's just like, something you got at a gas station. So I don't have it dialed in yet.
Right. I'm big into the music. So because I have a musical background, the jazz and stuff, I like the music parts of it. Being able to sing, like carry along, which is a big kind of like a FU to the JW world anyways.
Because we sing a lot.
Because there's a lot of singing involved.
It's creepy.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's like a big middle finger up to it anyways.
Mm-hmm.
That's also what I like about it, is that there are pieces that I can pick and choose from. But it's Christmas.
Dude, it's hard.
Like, The hype is
People
not.
Get so excited about it.
I can't do the hype.
I don't have it.
I don't have it.
It's not in there. Yeah.
Like, but plus too, I'm not waiting all year for a gift, man. If I find something for you that I think is dope. Yeah. I mean, if it's close to your birthday, hey man, happy birthday. But if I'm out and about, and I see something, I'm not waiting a year to give you something. Yeah. Like, that's dumb.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
It's just different.
It is.
So that's probably the biggest.
That's the biggest
holiday
one
for me. That I can think of. Yeah.
Okay.
Halloween's whatever.
So mine is Halloween.
Really?
Because I got, again, coming out the way I did, I jettisoned into a world of a Mexican woman. So the Day of the Dead was a big deal for her.
Okay. Gotcha.
And forgive me, but my ex is evil, and we don't talk about her much. And there will be a whole issue
who we do not speak of.
Yeah, she who we do not speak of will be referenced as such. So, however, because that whole world, I was like, because I'm fresh out. I don't know what's real, what to do.
Right.
So
right. All you know is what you've been told.
Exactly.
It's the devil.
It's the devil.
That's the devil.
Exactly. So I get launched into Day of the Dead of the Halloween. And I got really, because it was all cultural. It was a big family unit thing.
It's kind of a cool, like, now. It was,
looking back at it.
Thing, but yeah,
it was, I was like, oh wait, this is about family. People come together.
Yeah.
So I got launched into like Halloween, Day of the Dead, kind of the same way. So for me, the Halloween trip is really my holiday.
Yeah.
Only because it was probably the first one I celebrated coming fresh out.
Like latched onto it.
And so it's that gravitational pull. And it's also pretty cool to see the holidays, they span cultures. Like Halloween, Day of the Dead, there's the Isle of the Dead I think like Ireland has their own kind of like dead celebration. If you look at the cultural like significance, most people, like most societies, celebrate death in some sort of way.
Yeah.
Or celebrate that.
You're celebrating the person,
the other,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
You're remembering that person.
Exactly. Yeah. And it revolves around that death concept, which again, another we won't go there.
That's a whole other thing.
Right.
That's a whole other
See how it bleeds in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. I didn't know that about you. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right on. We're not gonna talk about Mother's Day.
Nope, we're definitely not.
We're not talking about Mother's Day.
Definitely not gonna do that.
Whole other episode 10 years from now,
bro,
when we're both healed a little more.
Right.
We'll approach that
through boot camp therapy.
Yeah. No thanks. Okay, next one.
Okay.
The national anthem. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll start on this one. So the national anthem, I actually remember the Pledge of Allegiance in school. Remember having to stand up and do it. So I remember doing the Pledge of Allegiance in school. So I remember the words, and then coming into the world, trying to get into more sports, trying to get into more of that world. The national anthem was oh man, I don't know what to do here. because if you were to show any sort of support to your nation, like standing for the national anthem, you were definitely
10 out of 10 bad.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10
like
bad.
You were getting a talking to, you were getting pinched, pulled back down to your seat.
Yep.
Like
bad.
bad.
And you think, and so it's funny you mention that because like this is happening to you as a little kid.
Right. You know you're a little baby.
You are thrown into this as a little kid, and you're supposed to try and defend why you're not doing the pledge or why you're not standing, and literally every other person in the room or stadium or wherever you are is standing and doing this thing, and they're looking at you like, "What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, what's wrong with you? You don't like
you don't like America?
You don't like America? What's wrong with you?
That's a bad look, bro.
And so you're just a kid, like I don't know, man. It's against my religion, and like but you're not supposed to say it's against my religion.
Right.
You're supposed to have some legit like.
Supposed to have a reason,
like crafted
judo,
response,
Jedi mind training,
so you can give to people. But it's like you don't know what to say. You're just a kid, man.
Right.
You just feel so different.
Yes,
so different.
And that's, I think, one of the biggest, like, staunchest differences that you feel, because you can literally, like you're talking about, going to a stadium of people,
thousands of people,
and everybody stands up,
yep,
because it's a national anthem. Oh, but here I am sitting down. I got thousands of people looking at me, like, "Are you disabled? Are you broken? What's wrong with you? Are you macking on some chick?"
They get all weird.
They get all weird about it because that's a big thing.
And some people get angry.
It's almost like, and I get it. I understand the whole premise. It's why Colin Kaepernick has his whole thing with the kneeling. Yeah. It's the same thing.
It's sensitive.
Like, it's a very sensitive thing. And you're a kid.
Yeah, you're a kid, man.
You're a kid.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah. That was hard. That was hard for me for a while. I know I haven't been out that long. Right. But like that one was one of the last ones to go. That was
one of the last ones I
held on to that. That was deep.
That one had a root.
And now I've bridged that gap.
Good.
But yeah, that's a tough one.
That is okay.
Yeah. The last one, just we've kind of talked about it. It's just kind of in general like a social setting. So for me, when I'm out with people I know from the gym or people I know from work, there's usually like a moment where the panic comes to me, where I'm having a good time, and all of a sudden, some gremlin of panic just reaches up and grabs me, and I just started thinking, and usually something kicks it where, people in my group have some kind of shared experience, like growing up with both parents, or not
the things people take for granted,
not going to church 3 times a week, or having their Saturdays to sleep in, or just whatever. Someone will say something, or growing up doing sports.
It's the normal thing you think is normal.
Something,
right?
Someone will say something, and I'm like, oh man, I'm hella different,
right? Yes.
And then
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because there will be, there will be those moments where you're just like, start having laughs, but you'll be with you guys did this, man. Oh, we did this and this and this at the barbecue. And everyone just stops and looks at you.
You're like, I don't have that.
And you're just playing it off like it was normal. It was cool.
Oh, yeah.
And then everyone's looking at you like, hey man, are you okay? Like,
no. But you say yes.
What do you... I mean, y'all didn't do that.
I'm fine.
That was my no. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
like
you play it off, and then you're just in that dark, like weird zone.
Yeah,
man.
And now you don't know.
Yeah.
Wait. I don't know what I don't know.
And my trauma brain goes instantly from like, oh, I'm so different to I'm broken.
Oh,
I'm messed up.
I'm messed up.
Yeah. I'm broken. I'm not good. Trauma, shame.
Right.
Like it just
pull back.
Yeah, and then it's this spiral.
Yeah, pull back.
Yeah,
that's not this episode.
No, I know. Yeah, pull back. So that's something that like just social gatherings, and that's probably something that anybody who's been through, and maybe not even people who've been through something, but I'd imagine a lot of people can identify with stress, or anxiety or panic.
Agreed.
In a social setting, but that's definitely something I think you and I share.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because I mean, well, we're not going there. We're not.
Okay, we're gonna dial it back.
Like
it's getting really real for this
like
first
we're
episode.
flirting on this line right here. Because look, and that's part of it too, right? Because you want to talk about it. You want to talk about it with somebody who can get it.
Yeah.
I think that's also like that's going to be a cool part is the language you don't have to translate. Like I don't have to. Yep. I don't have to watch my words. I don't have to.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. I can just say something, and you might be triggered when I say it. Which I'm apologizing.
That's for me to handle.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm apologizing for any trigger that I ever throw because I'm going to trigger people on this podcast. It's going to happen.
It just is.
It's just
anybody who's been through anything like what we've been through.
That's what I mean.
It's
going to happen. But at the same time, if you get triggered, like for me, that was the biggest part coming out. And I have to say it is like finding out what those triggers were. Like was a shot in the face. I didn't realize. Again, you don't know what you don't know. What's not normal. What is normal.
Yeah. So
I could be triggered and not even know and blow up and have a reaction and think that was a normal reaction to a situation.
Yes. Because that's how I've lived. So that's something I want to actually just take a second to acknowledge. So there are all these little landmines.
Yes.
Just placed all over the place.
All over.
In our heads. And a lot of them, like I'm uncovering, but by stepping on them. Right. It's like, oh crap, well that's a thing. And it's like you end up just discovering that, oh, here's one extra thing.
Right.
Here's one extra trigger for me to talk to my therapist about. Or like, here's one extra thing for me to put on the list for me to work on. There's just all these triggers, and a lot of them are just buried. They're not easy to know.
They're really not. And that's the sad part about it is like it's the landmine is perfect.
Yeah.
Because you're only going to find it by stepping on it.
Yeah, and then
okay. Yeah. You get to figure it out.
You get to deal with that for the day.
Exactly. You just get well.
This weekend shot.
Exactly. Oh man.
Yeah.
Cool. But I like this. I feel like this is good. Like time to kind of wrap it up for the first podcast.
There's one thing.
No,
I know.
One thing.
We didn't come back to your birthday, bro.
Oh, okay.
Weird how
the brain and the trauma.
Okay, everybody. Thanks for coming.
We're not even gonna touch
We're not gonna touch this one. The last thing I want to talk about is happy birthday, dude.
Thanks, man.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
This is a cool one for me, at least, to get to share this with you. We're gonna go out to sushi after this, have a good time, and crush some sushi. How do you feel about it being your birthday? That's my one question. Yeah.
Such a
deep
question.
I know.
How do I feel about it being my birthday? Well, all the levels. So I'll start from the surface and go deeper. So on the surface, I love it's my birthday. I love it's my birthday because I don't look my age. I look way younger than I
look good,
So I know I'm being a little more healthy. In my outwardly presence and my the way I present myself, it's getting more on point to what I want. So that surface level, woo, doing good there. Gonna improve, but I'm doing good on the surface. Started digging a little deeper. I really don't care. It's another day for me. Yeah. But and on that same level, it is a day for me.
It is.
You know what I mean? Like it's the day I was born. Just because it's another day doesn't mean it's another day. Which is more of a humbling kind of feeling because I know there's a bunch of people that had birthdays today, and I know there's a bunch of people who died today. Like it's like that level of humanity of hey, I got older, but I got older. You know what I mean? It's that feeling of I've accomplished another portion or gotten through another part of life to where I have more experience. I have more of those gems throughout life.
Yeah.
So, and then digging a little more deeper, I am supreme. And again, this is really an illogical fear about the trauma. I am supremely concerned that I'm still not going to make it to paradise. I'm still not going to make it to, the Judgment Day. I'm still like, there's still that little like deep seated. Still have to figure out my trauma. Like, if I celebrate my birthday,
right?
Like,
right.
Like, so am I just digging my grave even more?
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that I've done the right things because I've gone through life and I've been living a much better, happier life now. But there's still that trauma.
It's not about logic, man.
It's that hook that's in there.
Yeah, that's conditioning, dude.
Yeah. Which I know is irrational. Like, and that's the wild part.
That's the worst part.
That's the wild part.
It's irrational.
I know it's irrational.
It doesn't matter.
It does not matter.
It's in there, dude. Yeah.
I feel it. It's there. And yeah, man, it's a birthday, and it's meant to be celebrated. It's meant to be a thing
because you are worth celebrating.
Exactly,
bro.
Exactly.
That's a weird thing in the witness culture that like somehow you're bad or you're selfish, or you're like into yourself. They're just constantly digging themselves lower and lower and lower.
Exactly.
And it's like, if you take a day to honor yourself, it's like this worst thing you can do.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Right.
But you are worth celebrating, bro.
And I'm glad you said it because that whole like knowing the value of yourself thing. I'm a badass. Like,
correct.
Like,
confirmed, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. It's the same with my brother, man. Like, I'm a fucking badass, and there is a reason why I am because I have gone through the wildest shit. And again, we'll get into it. Not right now,
not right now.
The amount of life that I have lived in my short, brief lifespan is like, it's ridiculous. Like, I'm a badass because there's no other way you get to survive the stuff that you've gone through. You know what I mean?
Well,
like, there's a different, there's a cloth. Like, I love, like you said yesterday, or I forget the gem that we talked about on the couch show today, where
there's a diamond.
There's a diamond, right? Like, they're like the most precious gems that people think about. Kind of the diamond, the only way, the literal only way for diamonds to be created is through intense and immense pressure and heat.
Yeah,
that is the only way.
Right,
there is no other way to make a diamond.
No.
So the fact that life can happen like that, where you just all you're really doing is like trying to just survive it, and then figure out how to put the pieces back together. To where now you're this 100-carat diamond, precious stone, flawless. You've gotten really all the flaws,
strong,
and
also beautiful thing.
Exactly. Like you get to you forge yourself into being something new through this. So that's also there.
Well, I would like to take 1 second to just point out that you should give yourself some credit because it's not the pressure and the heat necessarily, right? Because it's like that pressure and that heat crushes a lot of people.
Yeah.
And they just become flat dust.
That's true.
Whereas you, because you are you and a badass, took that pressure and that heat and you did survive it and you became something stronger. Which says more about you than about the trauma, man.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
It means a lot.
All right. We just had a moment. So.
Got real.
We, I think, we're going to wrap this thing up.
Yeah.
We're
for sure.
Go eat the crap out of some sushi.
Oh, yeah.
So, thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more.
Appreciate it, guys.